Hello, and welcome. I'm Web Weaver, and this is where I do a one-card tarot reading just to give us some guidance for our day ahead. I am so glad you have found me here. Just a few things of note. These readings are for entertainment purposes only, and I am using the Dreams of Gaia tarot deck, which is different than traditional tarot, so I do have notes over here that I pull from just to help guide my readings until I have these cards memorized. Slowly but surely I'm getting there, especially when I pull cards like the one I did yesterday. All right, the lighting in here is much better today. The sun is shining outside. I've got the curtains open. I didn't even have to turn on an extra light, so that's lovely. And I brought a stand up. You'll see it once I pull the card. I can drop you down so you can see the shuffling here a little bit. But I do have a stand that will hold the card at an angle, so that way I don't have to hold it, and hopefully it works. We'll see. It was down collecting dust on our mantle, which is our main just overall family altar space. Since I do my card readings up here now, I think I'm just going to relocate it up here so I can use it. Okay, so this reading is going to be for November 20th, 2025. Where did November go? I feel like it just started. We are in Samhain season, so this is the time to turn inward and reflect on your past year, the lessons you've learned, the things you accomplished, the things you didn't accomplish that you had hoped to, and just kind of integrate all of those lessons before we get to Yule, when we start looking at where do we want to go from here. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started here. Thursday, November 20th. What do we need to know for the day? What's our message for the day? What do we need to know for the day? What's our message for the day? What do we need to know for the day? What's our message for the day? What do we need to know for the day? What's our message for the day? What do we need to know for the day? All right. I'm going to split the deck. I do not read reversals. I do apologize for any screaming that you hear downstairs. Children have been a little crazy, and it's not even a full moon. I don't know what happened. But, all right, we have the Four of Water. So I'm going to put the card on the stand, this lovely little stand here, and then hopefully that makes it a little easier. You can see it. It will hold still. There we go. Okay. The Four of Water. And that is a piece of lapis lazuli, non-tumbled, it's just raw. Some quartz that we have found on our travels. I have several of these marbles. My dad used to work in construction, like working on people's houses and stuff, and he would find marbles all the time. And every house I've been in, I have found a marble out in the yard at some point. So I saved them. The other two are over there because they just kept rolling off of this stand. All right. So we have the Four of Water. So the Four of Water stands before you with quiet confidence and awareness. Despite his scars, he sees only beauty when he looks at his reflection. He has many weaknesses and he has made many mistakes. Yet he chooses to see the lessons he has learned and forgive himself instead of holding on to shame. This card asks whether you look at yourself with less love than you should. It is time to let go of the idea that to be perfect is to be without flaws. Perfection is a paradoxical state, which is only achieved in seeing and accepting and loving the flaws, knowing they are part of the beautiful, magical whole. Release any feelings of inadequacy or discomfort. So when I was starting into my first year of modern witchcraft training, learning about modern witchcraft, deciding if it was the path for me, my teacher, her name is Heron Michelle. You may hear me reference her occasionally. She is an author with Llewellyn, working on her second book with them. But I remember in one of the lessons we talked about perfection and the idea of perfect love and perfect trust and what is perfect. And that was very much the message, was that perfection includes everything. Perfect, whole, complete is what we're talking about with perfection. If you try to draw a circle, it's not going to be exact, right? Your hand is going to wobble a little bit. There's going to be some movement of the line, but it's still a perfect circle because it's whole and complete. So everything within you, the skills you have, the talent you possess, along with the flaws and the mistakes, are what make you perfect. You are whole and complete. And we don't often see it that way. So, today's modern beauty standards are just crazy pants. But even if you look at yourself and you start picking out, oh, my nose is too big, my smile doesn't line up on both sides, my teeth aren't perfectly white, oh, I have a muffin top because I've had 2 kids and it just won't go away. It's true, we have these things, but that doesn't make us imperfect. Perfection is including everything, the whole. So this card is telling us that we need to see the flaws within ourselves. We need to accept the flaws within ourselves. They are part of us. They are who we are, and that is what makes us perfect, whole, and complete. So get rid of those feelings of inadequacy, that you're not good enough because you don't look like someone else or you don't act like someone else. Get rid of those feelings. Get rid of the discomfort that you have. And I know that's not easy. I've been on I guess you could call it a health journey. This past year was all about my health. And there are parts of myself that I don't particularly like. Physical parts of myself that I don't particularly like. But this also has to do with you as the person. We've all made mistakes in our lives. But our mistakes have made us who we are, and oftentimes have brought us to where we are. And we are where we need to be based on the lessons we learned. So making sure we always learn the lessons. Just remember, mistakes, flaws, weaknesses, all of these things make you who you are. And maybe there are things about you want to change. That's great, but first you need to accept them. And one of the powers of water is acceptance. And that is what this card is asking you to do. To accept yourself as you are, flaws, weaknesses, mistakes, and all. And then, once you love yourself and accept yourself, you can make the changes that you want to make. So if you would like to meditate on the imagery of this card, feel free to pause the video. Otherwise, I will be back tomorrow with our next reading. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add. So there you go. I hope you all have a restful evening, and that tomorrow you are able to find a way to love yourself, scars, blemishes, weaknesses, mistakes, and all. Blessed be.